The lie we're told about intelligence. So you want to get smarter. Most people are told it takes 12 years of school, 4 years of college, and maybe another 6 in grad school. But what you often end up with is no job, and maybe even no place to live. And no, that's not a joke. The upside? When you make a Reddit post complaining that you can't find a job, at least your grammar will be flawless. As you probably guessed from the title, getting smarter isn't actually that complicated. The real meaning behind getting smarter, even if you think you're not built for it, compared to other animals, humans are insanely overpowered. When regular people like you and me say we want to be smarter, we usually mean a few things. We want to learn useful skills, ideally ones that make money. We want to solve problems better, also hopefully for money. We want better grades or the ability to understand complex stuff. And yes, flex on people just a little. And we want to sound smart in conversations, smart enough to earn respect, but not so smart people start calling us nerds. Why typical advice doesn't work? The problem is, most of the advice out there is either too vague or too philosophical. It might sound deep, but unless you're Oprah or Socrates, it's not very actionable. And when you finally find specific advice, it's always the same recycled list. Eat blueberries because brain food. Drink black coffee. Exercise. Sleep more. Take IQ tests. Listen to Mozart. These tips sound good, but at some point, you actually have to learn something. What actually works? Even back in the day, some of the smartest people barely slept, just sitting at a desk all day working. So what actually works if you want to become smarter? Beyond random brain hacks ripped from WikiHow and sprayed on subway walls. Step 1. Read. Choosing what to read. But what should you read? That depends. Fiction helps improve your reading speed and builds your vocabulary. Plus, reading characters talk makes you feel a little more social, even if you haven't left your house in days. Nonfiction, though, is your go-to if you want to drop cool facts in conversation and sound like someone who actually knows stuff. Say you read a history book. Now you can casually bring that up. But there's a trick. Don't be annoying about it. Sounding smart without being annoying. Someone says, crazy how we evolved from chimps, right? And instead of going, well, actually, which instantly makes you sound unbearable, try this. Yeah, it is crazy, right? I read something interesting the other day. Turns out, humans and chimps didn't evolve one from the other, but more like side by side. Boom. You sound smart, chill, and like you occasionally touch grass. The goal is to share what you've learned without making people feel dumb. That way, they actually listen and start seeing you as someone worth listening to. Where to find great books easy. You don't need to read the same 5 books everyone recommends. Just pick a topic you want to know more about. Say cleaning, and Google books about cleaning. Find one that looks good. Sure, it might cost money, but if your finger were to slip and you happen to accidentally end up on a certain website, and then you accidentally downloaded a free copy, well, that would be out of your hands, wouldn't it? How to actually remember what you read. Now that you've got your book, here's how to actually retain what you read. There are 10 things you should understand before learning any new skill. Number 1, if you don't practice it, your brain will think it's useless and forget it. Number 2, you only need to learn about 20% of the information to be good at 80% of the skill. This is called the learning curve. It's basically a graph showing how fast you improve early on, as long as you actually do the thing. Practice makes the learning stick. Nobody ever learned how to tie a tie just by watching a video. You learn by watching while tying. Same with reading. Books only make you smarter if your brain believes the info matters. So if you just read a chapter about cleaning a bedroom, go clean a bedroom. Doesn't even have to be yours. You'll remember it way better. What if you can't practice yet? But what if you can't practice it right now? Like, you read about jump-starting a dead car, but you don't have 2 cars sitting around. You can still make it stick. How? Visualize it. Imagine being in that situation. Watch a video, pretend it's your car, and walk yourself through the steps. By doing that, you're convincing your brain that you've used the knowledge, and now it'll remember it. Meanwhile, someone who just stared at the diagram and tried to memorize it, they'll freeze up the moment a real battery dies. Use what you learn, or simulate it. Use everything you learn, and if you can't use it right away, then picture yourself in a moment where it would be useful. That's pretty much how the entire school system is designed. You're taught some random fact, and since you probably won't use it for another 15 years, your teacher creates an imaginary situation where you do need it. It's called a test, an exam full of questions based on that exact piece of information. And if you get it wrong, you fail, unless you're in South Korea. Then you go to prison. Just kidding. That's only if you cheat. Why practice questions are so powerful. But even that made-up scenario is usually enough for your brain to at least try remembering the info. The problem? As soon as the test's over, your brain goes, "Oh cool, I guess that's useless now," and deletes it. Some people swear by repetition, or spaced repetition, or interval learning, or mind maps to help them study faster. But if you really want results, practice questions are king. Why? Because they mimic real-life situations where you'd actually need the information. And if no one gives you practice questions, make your own. Then trick your brain into thinking the stakes are high. Like, imagine you're dangling off a cliff by one arm, and the only way someone will save you is if you can name every part of a human cell. Why textbooks are underrated. That's how learning works. You just have to convince your brain the knowledge matters. That's the whole game. And that's why textbooks are basically the S-tier weapon for getting smarter fast. No fluff, no babying, no distractions. Just pure, focused information. And a ton of practice questions. And if you can't answer one, well, time to scroll all the way to page 36,000 in the appendix to figure it out. Textbooks aren't for casual learners. They're not fun like watching a YouTube video. You'll forget by lunch. The accidental source for free knowledge. But if you're ever up for the challenge, there's a certain website you might accidentally find yourself on, where you might accidentally download free textbooks on literally any subject. And hey, if you happen to type in www.libgen.is and you accidentally search for the title of a textbook, and you somehow click the first link and open the file in an ebook reader, that's between you and your Wi-Fi. Final thoughts. Look, at the end of the day, getting smarter isn't about being a genius. It's about convincing your brain that what you're learning matters. And the best way to do that is to use it, practice it, or at least imagine using it. No magic hacks, no secret formula, just you, your brain, and a little bit of effort. And if this video gave your brain even one new thing to hold on to, do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button. It's free, and it helps fund more videos just like this. Now go read something, and don't forget to actually do something with it.